We're going to get started with the agenda portion of the meeting. We have nothing on second reading, nothing on first reading. We go to the resolutions. 1, approve agenda amendments. 2, approve payroll. 3, authorize refund redeemed tax sale certificates. 4, approve amendment resolution to pay outstanding invoices in the amount of $7,500 with Enterprise Automation Incorporated for maintenance and repairs and supervisory control data acquisition. SCADA system for the water utility, specification of 52116 RFP, not to exceed $7,500. 5, approve amendment of resolution R-061-870, reason to pay the final legal fees in the amount of $1,450 to Christopher Adams, Esquire, Adams and Buchanan Pella LLC for representation of Thomas Walton III, City Administrator in the matter of Arthur Anderson et al., City of New Brunswick on punitive damage claim from $49,568.47 to $51,018.47. 6, approve amendment of resolution, reason to extend the contract for 1 additional year in the amount of $200,000 with Garrison Enterprise Incorporated to furnish, deliver, install insertion valves, line stops, emergency valve repair replacement for the water utility, term 12-month period commencing December 28, 2018, ending December 27, 2019, specification number 56016W, not to exceed $200,000. 7, approve amendment of resolution R-121-822, reason correct amount to $28,300. Approve award of grant for rehabilitation home improvements for 1 grant, Diane K. Neal, 20 Kenmore Avenue, not to exceed $28,300. 8, resolution authorizing budget transfers, 2018 municipal budget. 9, approve amendment of resolution R-071837, reason to pay final legal fees in the amount of $2,600 for Arleo and Donahue for representation of Mayor James Cahill in the matter of Arthur Anderson et al. Versus the City of New Brunswick of punitive damage claim from $273,625 to $276,225. 10, approve resolution to authorize refund of escrow to Farad Development LLC, amount of $13,808.72. 11, approve amendment of resolution, change order number 1, Top Line Construction Corporation for Joyce Comer Avenue roadway improvement, specification number 922-18. Amount $11,088.00. Approve of this change order will not constitute an increase of 20% or more of the amount of original contract. 12, approve resolution authorizing refund to the estate of Elizabeth Barry for overpayment of health benefits premium, the amount of $676.62. 13, approve resolution authorizing refund to the estate of Joseph Marcinicic for overpayment of health benefits premium amount $667.35. 14, authorize a shared services agreement with the City of New Brunswick, Rutgers State University for code inspection and enforcement service, not to exceed $200,000. 15, award professional service agreement to Bignell Planning Consultants Incorporated for general land use planning services, not to exceed $32,400 per annum. The items discussion by the council, public discussion, and dates to remember, so on and so forth. This meeting will now come to order. Will the clerk please do us the honor of calling the roll?
Council Vice President Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Egan is absent. Councilmember Escobar. Here. Councilmember Socorro Ludwig. Here. Council President Fleming.
Here. Please be advised that the notice and requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act has been complied with and satisfied, that the annual notice, which gave sufficient notice, the time and place and conduct of all public meetings, municipal clerk of the City of New Brunswick has been filed by the city clerk and has been placed on the appropriate bulletin board in the lobby of City Hall. New Brunswick has been transmitted to the official newspaper of the City of New Brunswick, namely the Home News Tribune. So please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We just stand for a moment of silence, keeping in prayer in our thoughts of those that have lost loved ones during this time, and those that are less fortunate, and those that are still defending freedom all around the world. Thank you. Motion. Okay. Yes.
Second. Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig. Yes. Council President Fleming.
Yes. Okay, we have no public hearing. Oh, sorry. Do we have any reports of correspondence by the clerk?
Yes, we do.
Can you please do us the honor?
An initial notice from Groundwater and Environmental Services, Inc. regarding a site remediation program. Item number 2, an initial notice from PS&S regarding the 2019 soil biannual certification package. The correspondence will be forwarded to the appropriate department.
Thank you. All right, no public hearings, then we'll go straight, no second or first reading, so we'll go straight to the resolutions. Anybody from the public like to speak on any of the resolutions?
Good evening, everybody. Charles Prattville, New Brunswick, New Brunswick today. 862 and 866 are payment of legal fees in this case that I understand was resolved last month. I did email Mr. Shammy. I was hoping to find out if the case was settled, how much was it settled for, and who's paying the settlement.
I did respond, Mr. Prattville, if you got my email in response to contact the public information officer. That's how information flows within the city administration, just so you know that in the future. I thought you knew that already.
Oh, well, thank you. In the past, I've emailed you before, and you've been able to accommodate. But I do want to then clarify, since the public information officer is here, could you please ask the public information officer to answer that question? How much was the case settled?
Well, I don't think she has those details because I don't. So we're in the process of getting the final details as far as exactly how much. I can answer your second question, though, in that the joint insurance fund is the one who actually pays the settlement, and the case has been resolved. So
The entirety of the settlement will be paid by the check.
Exactly.
Okay. I will, just for the record, state that, I did not receive Mr. Shammy's email. I've been having trouble getting emails from folks in the city government. I'm not sure if the problem's on my end or your end, but I didn't receive your email. That's why I'm bringing this up now.
I responded to you day after Christmas, so it's yesterday that would have been.
Okay, and so, for the record, can you ask the public information officer if I do submit an inquiry for this information, will she be able to accommodate and provide that information?
That's up to her and what her duties and functions are as public information officer. I try to stay in the law department. She's in her own particular department.
Yeah, but you directed me to reach out to her, right?
Right, because all information and inquiries relative to city business go to the public information officer. So that's why I told you to contact her.
Right, and this is public information, the amount of the settlement, right?
It's something that, it's operable, I suppose, too, yeah.
Well, then I would go to the city clerk.
Well, yeah, you would make a formal request if you want to see the document. I don't want to give you misinformation because I haven't seen the document as of yet.
Understood. I mean, I just, believe it or not, I don't want to create more work for the city clerk than he's already got on his plate. I would, just as well accept a written, one-sentence email telling me the amount of the settlement and save everybody a lot of time. I believe that is the public information officer's job, right, to provide public information
You have
to
to
the
take
public.
that up with her as far as what she may respond or may not respond. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Okay, can we hear from the public information officer if this is going to be something she'll respond to?
If she so desires to.
Charlie knows how to contact me. He can send an email if he likes to.
Thanks. So again, been having trouble with email, but nevertheless, I did reach out to try to get a quote from the mayor about the retirement of the two professionals that are leaving city employment. Emailed 4 or 5 times, got no response. Spoke to Ms. Bradshaw in person, and I asked her if she would be responding. She said she won't be responding to that request. And
Yeah, this is on the resolution.
yeah, I'm just following this line of thought here. I was told where to get my information as the public information officer, and I'm telling you that the public information officer has told me as of December 19th that I shouldn't send her any questions and that she won't be able to help me with these questions. So I just want to understand whether this information is going to be something she's going to be able to help me with. What she said was, "You can email me." Well, I know that. I can email anybody. Will she respond with the information in her role as public information officer is the question. Can you please have her answer that question for me?
Yes. No, I can answer that. We don't respond to political publications, Charlie.
Okay, so the public information officer will not provide information to me.
To a political publication. Okay?
Okay, what about members of the public who don't have a publication?
They can contact me for public information. I give public information every day.
Okay, so I'm a member of the public. I've lived in New Brunswick for almost 15 years. If I send the public information officer who's paid with my taxpayer dollars to just simply tell me, how much was this case settled for? Will she respond with that information, or will she hide behind this excuse that she's given?
In your role
You
as a
can't-
political publication, no.
Okay, and if I reach out in my role as a private citizen and resident of this city, will I get the information requested?
Have you changed your answer?
No, my answer has not changed.
Well, the question was different. The question was, in my role as a private citizen and a resident of this city, will I be provided the information that is public by the public information officer? As a member of the public, would she be willing to provide information to me?
My answer hasn't changed.
Okay, so just to be clear, myself, and I guess anybody else who works with or for New Brunswick today, will not get answers from the public information officer,
I think that she was clear
that she won't provide answers.
to a political publication.
Okay, I just want to get it on the record because at the end of the day, I can save us trouble. I can do my own investigations. If the mayor's office is going to refuse to provide information that is public, but still pay a public information officer, then I can do my own investigations and I can just put in every article that you refuse to comment.
Are you comfortable? Yes.
Okay. And unfortunately, for Mr. Teresi and his staff, that's going to mean more things have to go through him. And so I just hope that everybody's aware that the mayor's office is declining to do their job by declining to answer simple questions. I mean, this was a real easy one. Hey, can you give me a quote about Tom Laughlin and Glenn Patterson retiring? It was a nice thing, no harm, nothing to lose. And, you know, instead of responding and saying, I'm not going to be able to help you with that, the public information officer dodged her responsibility, avoided it, and I had to actually come here and speak to her in person just to get the decline to comment. So really, what are we paying for here at the end of the day if she's on the payroll and not doing her job? I'll move on. 867, Wari Development, what project is this for? The Aspire. So did any Hurricane Sandy victims end up living in that building or no?
Does anybody know Hurricane Sandy victims?
I don't know what Mr. Krabs is talking about.
Okay. We got $5 million in Sandy relief funds, so I understand that part of the reason for those funds going to
That
that.
had nothing to do with the resolution. This is just a simple release of an escrow. I don't know anything about what Mr. Krabs was referring to.
Okay. I just saw the city gave a tax abatement, and that was on the grounds that there'd be low-income housing.
Well, that's not-
Or
You
you know,
can put
affordable
resolution,
housing.
you can, during the public portion, you can refer to and ask a question here.
Okay, fair enough. I just see you're cutting them a check for $13,000, so I want to make sure they fulfill their end of the bargain before the city releases that escrow. And the last one is the addition of the shared services agreement between the city and Rutgers. This is news to me. I wasn't expecting to see this. Can you please tell me about the reason and what the agreement entails?
The Rutgers one is a shared services agreement for code inspection enforcement services. In light of the fact that our code construction official and subcode officials are retiring, we are going to enter into a shared services agreement with Rutgers to utilize their officials. See how that works.
Interesting development. Could I just get the names of the folks that are retiring?
Mr. Schrum, Mr. Krug, Mr. Marcinsic. I think I got them all. I have all three of them.
Thank you for answering the questions that you were able to.
Anybody else? The resolution? Seeing none?
Move the resolutions. Second. Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Sikora Ludwig. Yes. Council President Fleming.
Yes. Okay, we have items for discussion by council. I want to wish everybody a happy new year, happy and prosperous new year. And I think that's it. Anybody else?
Kwanzaa.
Oh, yeah, got that. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. All right, we'll go to public discussion now. Anybody from the public, please give your name and address for the record. And a reminder that you have 5 minutes.
Good evening once again, Charles Cradaville, New Brunswick. New Brunswick Today, the political publication. Will the mayor be giving a State of the City address this year?
Yes.
Is there a date, time, location?
Yes, here, January 1st.
New Year's Day, what time?
What time?
3 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock here in council chambers, open to the public.
It's the State of the City.
How's the federal government shutdown affecting the city government? Should we be concerned about certain revenue streams that the city depends on?
To my knowledge, it has not at this point in time. City's running as usual. We don't have any direct reliance upon federal funds to pay for services. There may be federal funding out there, but hasn't affected us, to my knowledge, today. Hopefully it won't continue.
The only one that I know that is affected is the housing authority of Brunswick.
Well, it hasn't very
But
different.
that's nothing
Yeah.
to do with
Talking about the city.
the cities now.
Right, yeah, I was surprised it didn't come up at the last Housing Authority meeting. That's why I had to miss your meeting. I was there. Can you tell me a little bit about how it's going to affect the Housing Authority? I'm curious what the changes will be, who's going to be impacted.
I don't have too much knowledge other than an email that I received, and I know that some of the employees will be working, obviously, without pay, and we're trying to make sure that operations will not be affected by these changes. And they're hoping that it will be, the budget will be, something will happen, and they will receive the money. So I think that we have to wait a little bit more and see how, if it goes longer. I think that the main concern that John has and the staff and the board is that services are not interrupted for the residents of my place.
Thank you. So the Housing Authority had a water bill of $293,000 I saw in the newspaper. I know somebody came here and asked about it. Mr. Laughlin said that the Housing Authority had, quote, tested the meter and proved it to be inaccurate. Can you tell me, was the MEHA property pulled off the list of liens that were auctioned off last week?
I don't know about the meter being tested and being inaccurate. I believe what Mr. Loughlin said is that they made a good faith payment to Housing Authority of what I thought he said would be $150,000. I know it's a 6-figure number. I may stand to be corrected. But as a result of the payment, I would suspect that the matter was pulled off the sale list because of their good faith payment. But I don't know that to be exactly the case. We could look into that.
Okay. I just know that, if somebody else comes forward and makes a good faith payment of half the debt, they don't get their property removed from the tax lien list, right?
I think there have been payment plans over the years with different entities. Of course, they pay interest, 18%. So I don't know any specifics off the top of my head, but I can give you an example.
Okay. Can the water director maybe address the issue with the meter, the acting water director? Because that was said at the last meeting, that, quote, they've tested the meter and proved it to be inaccurate, meaning the Housing Authority.
The meter was indeed tested by an outside company. It was inaccurate, but it was slow. It was not fast, so it's not like the city owes the Housing Authority any money. So
it was like the tricky meters that Mr. DeBonis and Mr. Ortiz were using.
Can you repeat that?
The water meters, like the one that the police took from me with the search warrant. The ones that were part of a criminal scheme, they weren't ringing up the water properly to give an improper benefit to certain landlords and tenants, so this was what that was like?
Would you like to characterize?
I wouldn't characterize it like that. It's an old meter. Old meters slow down with age. I don't think it was anything tricky.
Wasn't a purposeful deceit. Okay. And can we hear from the administration about their plans to name a permanent water director?
Well, that's the mayor's prerogative, and I think when and if the mayor is ready to name a permanent water director, that announcement will come.
Okay. So at this time, we're still acting.
That's my understanding, correct.
How about the big shoes to fill that were alluded to at the last meeting? How about, an acting business administrator?
I think the same answer applies there. I believe the mayor has a plan in place, and when he's ready to make an announcement and an appointment, that will happen.
Okay, well, it's only a few days.
Only a few days, Mr. Credible.
All right, well, it's a tough job. I wish whoever gets it luck. How about acting planning director? Same situation. I believe there's a resolution to do a search.
There's a search in place, correct. And the Bignell firm that we just adopted here this evening will assist in the absence of Mr. Patterson to pick up a little bit of the slack that will be created until we fill that position.
Thank you. How is...
Your time's up. Thank you.
Actually, the clock was running the whole time that y'all were talking.
Yo.
So I still have some time left. So how about the transition to having the county handle human resources for the city? How exactly is that going to work? And is that still set to happen January 1st?
I don't know the details of that. Trying to be helpful, Mr. Credible, but I'm only the law director, not the administrator. Something that falls within administration. I don't know the details of that.
I understand. It was said that's because Patty Egan is retiring. Is she still leaving at December 31st?
That's my understanding, correct.
Okay. Well, the freeholders are meeting in 10 minutes, so I'll ask them. Lastly, if we could just hear about the deputy chief position. I notice there's no representative of the police department here. It was alluded to there might be some type of reorganization happening next year. What is that reorganization going to entail?
Again, the question probably that comes from the mayor's office and the police director's office. But as Mr. Loughlin said at the last meeting, that position was created to help with respect to management in the police department, the deputy chief position.
And I'll just close by pointing out that there's still, as of December 21st, 137 city employees who make less than $15 an hour. I know that the mayor came out and said he supports the fight for 15. He wants to see the minimum wage raised for all workers in New Jersey. Yet we still have 28 employees that are making the bare minimum wage, $8.60 as of right now. 2 library monitors, 3 recreation aides, 18 junior counselors, and 5 police officers who I presume are in academy. Got 22 employees that are making just $9 an hour, 19 employees making $10 an hour. I think that the city should practice what it preaches, and if our mayor truly supports the fight for 15, these folks will have a raise on your agenda at the first meeting of the new year. I sincerely hope to see that. If you're supportive of the fight for 15, I encourage the council to introduce it on your own and come up with a plan to get these folks better wages. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public? Seeing none?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig. Yes. Council President Fleming.
Yes.